Good morning, all my blessed people. How you doing today? It does look like the group is starting to grow again. That's good news, I think. And as I promised, this week we're going to be starting on the present. And what better time to be talking about the present than the week that we got the biggest present we could have ever gotten? We got Jesus. So anyway, we're also going to talk about the present and the fact that that's where we all need to be living, in my opinion. But before we get started on that, I want to clear up a few things going on with me, just to stay totally transparent. I can't cover them all because there's too much, and this video I think is already going to end up longer than usual. But first of all, on the quitting smoking, I had my good buddy come up last weekend, and I'd been off of them for I think the whole day. And the second day, we were all together with my wife as well, and I got nasty. My temper went short. I was snapping at everybody, mean. So yes, I fell off the wagon, but worry not. It's temporary, I promise you. Sometime between now and the first of the year, I just got to pick the date and the method. I'm quitting for the last time because I ain't ever going back again. It will happen. Continue to stay with me, and I'll continue to keep you posted, I promise. Yesterday, I went for a MRI to see how my cancer was doing because we suspended the immunotherapy until we get some tests run. I meet with the oncologist today to go through those results, but I already heard from my favorite ENT doctor who already saw the results, and according to him, the improvement is significant. And just keep doing what you're doing, but that also means it ain't gone yet. I didn't get my miracle, but that's okay. We still are moving in the right direction, and with the Lord's help, your help, me correcting what I need to take care of myself, and the immunotherapy, I'm sure it's going to be gone someday soon, and I'm going to get back to as close to 100% as I can so I can do what I want to and need to be doing out here. So, remember again, all these videos, most of them I'm going to be doing are going to be my opinion, my impression, my understanding of things. That does not mean it has to be yours. I'm just sharing mine. And the whole reason for the whole series and everything we're doing is I want to help more people who may not feel like they're leading a blessed life, and I do. And they may have got issues or problems or whatever else going on, that they can. And they can. They just need to get closer to the Lord. That's all they need to do. And all these videos, even though they're different subjects, different topics, are going to be talking about how you get closer to the Lord. So I'm going to start out today talking about the present, because the present can be two things. It can be we want to live in the present moment, and I think that's a big key in staying connected to the Lord. The other present is you can get a present, and boy did we get a present. My wife and I were talking about it last night, and, from the beginning of time when humans started, God kept trying different ways to get us to straighten out, and nothing ever really worked real well, so finally we got the greatest present of all. We got forgiveness for our belief in Christ and our Savior of our souls, so it doesn't get any bigger than that. So, anyway, I'm going to take a quick break here and just read you something, because it hit me. I told you the other day, I read this daily devotional book, usually with my wife, but if we can't do it together, I read it myself, and I stay caught up. I get a day behind. I get caught up the next day. But I found this one particularly interesting to me. It hit home when I read it, and I thought maybe you too, I'll share it with you. My plan for your life is unfolding before you. Sometimes the road you're traveling seems blocked, or it opens up so painfully slow that you must hold yourself back. Then when the time is right, the way before you suddenly clears, through no effort of your own. What you have longed for and worked for, I present to you freely as a pure gift. You feel awed by the ease at which I operate in the world, and you glimpse my power and my glory. Do not fear your weakness, for it is the stage on which my power and glory perform most brilliantly. As you persevere along the path I have prepared for you, depending on my strength to sustain you, expect to see miracles, and you will. Miracles are not always visible to the naked eye, but those who live by faith can see them clearly. Living by faith rather than sight enables you to see my glory. Anyway, hopefully that hit home with somebody else. I know it did with me. I was going to read out a second book I'm reading, Shift Your Thinking for a Deeper Faith, but I don't want to go on too long. So today's talk on the present is how I have my conversations with God. I think I told you once before I read a series of books called Conversations with God. I recommend it. It gives you a different outlook on how you can have a conversation with God. I've talked to my daughter about this because both my daughters in a different way. My one daughter who went through a year and a half inside a Christian lockdown program to get off drugs, and now serves full-time doing mission work. Well, tries to earn some money on top of that, but does a lot of time mission work. And I was asking her how she has her conversations with God. How does she commune with the Lord? How does she do it? And, she said sometimes it's through quiet contemplation. Sometimes it's through songs. Boy, you see her in church. She's one of the ones jumping up and down, throwing her hands up in the air. Sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. So different things. I talked to my other daughter, who I believe is a Christian, but she's not, as into it or vocal or whatever as the rest of us are right now. But she does yoga. She's big into yoga. And to me, that's kind of going to be the same thing. If you can quiet your mind, which I was having a heck of a time trying to quiet my mind, that form I have not mastered yet. But I'm working on still getting that better. And asking her how she did that and what she did. And then, like I say, I was trying that method and I just wasn't getting so far. So now, when I get my quiet time in the morning, I just shut everything down, no noise but nature, and I start talking to God. Sometimes out loud, sometimes in my head. And I think I mentioned the other day, the ideas for these videos just came flooding back to me. And this was one of them. How do you have a conversation with God? And again, in my opinion, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters how you do it. What I think it matters is that you do it, and that you do it as often throughout the day as you can. Because the more you can do it, the more you can connect. The more connected you're going to be, the more blessed life you're going to lead, the happier you're going to be. Everything's going to start going better for you. So, yesterday is a good example of another one of my failings. We went to Sarasota, left the house at 7 o'clock in the morning. Takes about an hour to get there. So we get there in time for my MRIs. After the MRIs, we had some other plans. We were going to do some looking around at tiles for our new tile floors we need now. Get something to eat. Obviously, that was immediately after the MRIs and fasting all day. And going to Sam's Club to get some stuff for a Christmas Eve party we want to have for some friends in our beautiful stud house. And now it's going to be like a low of 39 and a high of 49 that day, so we're going to all be inside the house instead of out in the line like we originally thought and taking boat rides. We're going to be all in our cement floor stud wall house. There is, see, we do have a Christmas tree back there. And I'll have some Christmas music going. But anyway, the traffic up there was unbearable. It was horrible. And it just seemed like everywhere we went, we were running into roadblocks and things weren't going wrong. And I know, looking back on it, it's all blessings. And I didn't really lose my temper bad. I did better than I used to do in circumstances like that. But I sure wasn't being the blessing I like to be as often as I was and staying as connected as I was as often as I was. I did, see a few people that I tried to be nice and talk to and cheer up and do that kind of thing. But it just wasn't one of my best days of shining the Lord and putting my blessings out. And I was thinking about it, I think a combination of last night and this morning. And, again, I just got caught up in the worldly world. I'm rushing around in all this traffic, trying to get a bunch of stuff done so I can get back home. And when you do that, you lose your connection. So, I thought today, and I'm going to try to do a lot better, what I need to make sure I'm doing every day, especially when I see those things, I just need to stop. Just stop dead what you're doing. Even if you got to say, excuse me for a minute, I got to stop. Pull away, slow it down, calm down, connect with God. The famous, WJD, what would Jesus do? You know, he never did that. Well, I guess he did turn the tables up in the church that one time, but you know, how do I behave when I'm connected with God? That's where I want to be all the time. And like I said a bunch of times, I feel like I've gone from 0 to 100%, but I'm still only about 10% of where I need to go. How do you get the rest of the way? Stay connected to the Lord every day. Slow yourself down. Make sure you're staying connected in everything you do. Look for the blessings in even the hardest times, is what we just read. They're there. We just don't understand them at the time, but you can see them with faith. You gotta have faith. I think I'll end it for today because I don't want these to go too long and be too boring. I hope everyone is having a blessed day. I hope everyone's working on having a better, more blessed day every day in their life and shining their blessings out on everyone they can meet. I hope everybody has a blessed and wonderful Christmas. What a present we all need to celebrate, not just on Christmas, but every day. But it's a memory time to remind ourselves it's time to remember that what a present we got. And I think that's going to do it for this week's video. I hope you guys have a great holiday, Christmas, month, year, life, and shine yourself out there. Talk to you soon.